want to tell you why I believe the virgin birth never happened. I have a lot of evidence to share, so open your mind and give all that I have to say in this video consideration. Did you know that Matthew is the only testimony in the entire Bible to a virgin birth of any kind? Matthew 1:18 says, "Now the birth of Jesus Christ was like this. After his mother Mary was engaged to Joseph, before they came together, she was found pregnant by the Holy Spirit." And Matthew 1:25 says, "And Joseph didn't know her sexually until she had given birth to her firstborn son. He named him Jesus." Now, why would Joseph name him Jesus if the angel came to him and told him to name him Emmanuel in fulfillment of prophecy? I'll tell you why. Because Isaiah 7 is not about Jesus or a virgin. Isaiah 7 was fulfilled in Isaiah 8 when the Alma, or young maiden, gave birth to a child that was called Emmanuel. The word Emmanuel only appears 3 times in the Bible. It's the Isaiah 7 prophecy, the Isaiah 8 fulfillment, and the Matthew 1 lie. Now you may think that the Gospel of Luke testifies to a virgin birth, but it doesn't. The angel appeared to Mary in Luke 1 and said, "Behold, you will conceive in your womb and give birth to a son and shall name him Jesus." So Mary said to the angel, "How can this be, seeing I am a virgin?" So the angel answered and said, "Behold, Elizabeth, your relative, also has conceived a son in her old age, who was called barren." So both Mary and Elizabeth conceived, yet no one thinks that Elizabeth conceived without having sex. In fact, whenever a woman conceives, the natural assumption is that she had sex with her husband. Luke says when the days of Zechariah's service were fulfilled, he departed to his house, and after these days Elizabeth his wife conceived. So Luke's account just says Mary conceived a son like Elizabeth, and there is no reason to think or no prophecy about a virgin birth. Stick around, there is much more to be said on this subject. The Bible provides 2 completely different genealogies of Jesus. Matthew goes through Solomon, but Luke goes through his brother Nathan. The only reason to show 2 genealogies is to demonstrate the lineage through both the father and the mother. And there is no reason to show the lineage through the father if the father adopted the son. And the Jews tracked their lineage through their fathers. Every Bible genealogy is through the fathers. The reason they kept genealogies was to fulfill prophecies like this one to Abraham. "In your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed." And prophecies like this to Moses. "I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among your brethren." Jesus had to be a pure Israelite through both his father and mother to fulfill these prophecies. Or else Jesus was not the seed of Abraham or a prophet like Moses. Now let's go back to the days of Noah in Genesis 6. Many people think the sons of God that mated with the daughters of men were fallen angels mating with humans. And this was a wickedness that resulted in the destruction of mankind in Noah's flood. And yet those same people think that God mated with Mary and produced the most pure human who ever lived. And that would make God a hypocrite. The virgin birth not only makes God a hypocrite, it also makes God a violator of his own law. Deuteronomy 22:22, "If a man is found lying with a married woman, then both of them shall die." And pay attention to the next verse. "If a man finds a young woman who is a betrothed virgin in the city and lies with her, then you shall bring them both out to the gate of the city, and you shall stone them to death with stones, the young woman because she did not cry out in the city." So if the virgin birth story is true, then according to God's law, both God and Mary should have been stoned to death. So either God is a hypocrite or the virgin birth is a lie.